Okay, so moving on to detectors. Now, this is where we separate the men from the boys, or the men from the girls, whatever. We're going to straighten you out on something that really irritates me because it's such a prevalent misnomer in the gold prospecting area. A lot of people will disagree, but that's just your religion disagreeing with me. Unless you've been to electronics school like I have, and you've learned electronics and gotten certified in electronics, you will not understand what I'm talking about. Believe me, it's the truth. And all this BS you see in advertising, they got you going in the wrong direction. I just went on the website this last week. I was looking up specifications on the Fisher Goldbug 2. And on this one advertisement, some company's advertisement, made me roll on the floor laughing about the load of BS they're handing people who are looking for metal detectors. They actually said on there, they showed the new Goldbug, Fisher Goldbug. It kind of looks a little bit like all the new Mine Labs and stuff like that with the display. But I looked down there on the specs, and I started laughing. It says under there, operating principle, VLF. I just started roaring with laughter. VLF means very low frequency. That's not an operating principle, it's an operating range. But all the people who really don't know metal detectors, they don't know the science, they don't know the electronics, a lot of people think VLF is a type of metal detector. No, it's not. Believe me, it's not. I've designed and built more than a dozen metal detectors. As a certified electronics technician, I know what I'm talking about. VLF means very low frequency. They say, oh, are you getting a PI or a VLF? No, it's PI or oscillator. The two types of metal detectors, there's actually another one we won't go into, but the two main types are either pulse induction or oscillators. VLF can actually apply to both pulse induction and oscillator types. In fact, all of your pulse induction detectors are more of a VLF than what they call a VLF. And I'll explain that to you. Okay, we have a bunch of metal detectors I'm going to show you. And this detector is a Garrett pulse induction detector. It's called the C100. Now this is a VLF. It's pulse induction VLF. It's actually lower in frequency than all your oscillators. This operates at 750 cycles per second. 750, that's lower than any so-called VLF. So this is the VLF of VLFs. Got another one here. This is the first detector that I bought for myself. It's called a Garrett Infinium. Expensive, but I don't think they even make them anymore because your big sales, big volume in sales isn't in these expensive types of pulse induction detectors, people want cheap things they can take out into the field, but this is a really good one. It's specifically designed to reject mineralized soil. You do not have to fool around with or worry about mineralized soil with this one. The way you tune it, the way you ground balance it, it balances out all mineralized soil. We have, so those two were pulse induction. We have an oscillator type. This is the Bounty Hunter Pioneer 505, which is pretty good for a cheaper machine. These are really good. And I like that one because it does pinpointing. No pulse induction detector is going to give you pinpointing, only an oscillator type will. And we'll show you why in a minute. Of course, this is what they call a pinpointer. They're not really very good. You got to be right up on the metal for it to pinpoint. You have another oscillator type. This one's called an MPX. This is a good machine. And we got this machine because it's also a pinpointer, which is part of a new methodology for finding gold nuggets or recovering gold nuggets by really pinpointing them. Now for deep seeking, we have Gemini 3, and they call these two-coil systems. You have one coil which is vertical, you have one coil that's horizontal, and you tune the vertical coil, actually you tune the horizontal coil so that you're just to the point of oscillating but under the runaway oscillation point. All these oscillators use two coils. You can see the MPX has concentric coils, a small coil in the middle, large coil outside. Same with the Bounty Hunter. You have small coil inside, larger coil outside, because these are oscillators. The Sea Hunter has a single 8-inch coil. It's pulse induction, but it has a single 8-inch coil. The Garrett Infinium is what they call a double D. It's got a D on this side and a D on this side. It has two pulse induction coils in it. So we'll show you a little bit about the difference between pulse induction and oscillators, and why they actually operate. So you have a pulse induction. Basically it's got a coil, either one coil or two coils, and it's operating at about 750 cycles per second. You have a target down here. What it does is it sends out a signal to energize the metallic target, and then it waits, and it listens for a returning electromagnetic signal back up to the coil. So it pulses down, it waits, and listens for the return signal. That's how PIs work. Now the oscillators, you have maybe two coils like this. You have a target down here. Now these two coils are actually the two coils of a transformer. They're actually interacting with each other almost to the point of runaway oscillation. Now when they encounter a target, the target disturbs the magnetic field and causes it to go into auto oscillation. Any kind of metallic object, it could be up here, could be out here, could be under here, any metallic object within the electromagnetic field of this two-coil system will unbalance the magnetic field and move it into oscillation. Now the other type, or two-coil system, you have your transmitter is horizontal, your receiver coil is vertical. These create a very deep seeking electromagnetic field, very deep, because the coils are so far apart. They'll go down to 35, 50 feet maybe. Same principle, you tune it until it's just under the oscillation point. When any metallic object of a substantial size comes within this unstable electromagnetic field, it sends it into auto oscillation, and that's where you get your signal from. So that kind of gives you an idea of the difference between the two types. Now in the next segment we're going to talk about operating frequencies. So until then, that'll be in the next section. My name is not Jeff. I'm not Roger from Oz. I'm Ken from Copperland. Remember, only gold turbine tools and gold processing systems will turn you from a weak 90-pound gold panning weakling into a beast of a miner. So until then, take care, and we'll see you in the gold fields of Arizona. Bye for now.